There's no Jewish, about 150 Jewish in Basra at that time.
Yeah.
And my father took care about that synagogue. He, volunteered, nothing else, nothing less. Whatever the life of the Jewish, he took care about it. He's not a muhel, but when in the cemetery somebody died, and used to be somebody Jewish, somebody take care about that, and he left to Israel, and the community make a meeting to decide who going to bring a Muslim guy to take care about that. My father said no, I would take it.
Wow.
So he did that, everything. My mother saw the coffin, and my father did the burial and everything, the washing, the cleaning, the thing, everything.
Wow.
Just because he doesn't want anybody, just Jewish, from Jewish to Jewish.
Okay, so can you tell me your name and your place and date of birth?
My name is Aaron Zangi. I born in the hospital of Meir Elias in Baghdad, and I was 1 year old when I moved to Basra, and I settled Basra all my life over there.
Can you tell me about your family background?
My family is usually from Baghdad. They came from Baghdad, and I have some of the side of my family is from Iran also. The grandfather from Iran, grand-grandfather from Iran. And they settled in my grandfather, he decided to move to Basra. So he left his brother in Baghdad and he settled in Basra. And from there, he has my father only. He has before that about 6 children, and all of them died. Just my father stay alive. So we settle Basra all this life, all the time.
Do you know the meaning of your name, of Zangi? What does Zangi...
The Zangi name is, they came from Iran. The Zangi is Irani name. This used to be, they use for the instrument in music, how to work on the music, how to play the music over there. So they come Zangi from the Zank, that means nagam in Iran, or play, or ringing, the bell ringing, or whatever they call it in Iran. That's what I know.
Okay.
That's what they told me.
Do you remember your grandparents?
I saw my grandma. I didn't see my grandfather. No, my grandfather was died before I born. My grandma was there when I was 3-4 years old. She died.
So, what language did you speak at home with your family?
I spoke Arabic all the time because I don't know another language. I spoke Arabic with them.
So, what did your father do?
My father, he has a wholesale in the textile business, and he lived in Basra all his life. And he built his home in 1936, and we lived in that home until I left Iraq. So he was very, in that area. After the Farhud in 41, a lot of Jews left that section of Basra, and they went to Ashar, another section it's about 7-8 miles far away from our city. But we stay over there with a few Jews. We stay over there in that section.
Can you tell me about that section? What was it like?
When I grow on that section, and I went to the street to know who's living over there, and around me is all Muslim Arab, so all my life I was with them. I grew with them. I went to school with them. I play with them. I fight with them. wherever, like normal child in the street. And because these people, they came from the village and they settled that section. We used to be a khan, they call it khan. It's a big building divided by a room, about maybe 100 room in that khan, they call it. And each family has a room to live in that room, and all the family, or they have 2 rooms together, and they live together in that place. And all these people, they came from the village in Imara or in Nasriya or in any village around the Basra to have some kind of work for the father or mother or whatever. And that's what I grow in that action. Used to be Jewish. All the area used to be Jewish, but the Jewish left after 41.
Did you have Jewish neighbors at all, or Jewish friends?
I have one. We used to have one Jewish neighbor. When I grew with them, we went to school with them. But they left around 1960, they left. But we have one family. We stay with them all the time. They live with us. Also, they own the house in that section. And now all the family is in Israel. They live in Israel.
So why did your family stay?
Like my father, he owned that business or owned that house. It's not just one house. It's about 4 houses in one building, and with 16 store under the houses. So he lived in that place, and we live in that place all our life, all until I left Iraq. I left from that place.
So as a child, what was your school like?
In elementary, I went to the private school. My father didn't want me to go to the public school at that time. So me and my brothers, we went to the public, the private school. It's owned by a lady from Lebanon. She came from Lebanon, and they opened that school. And we study until the 6th grade in that school. And after that, there is no private school for high school or middle school, what they call it. So we have the right, we don't have any choice just to go to the public school, regular public school.
Did you have a Beit Knesset that you went to for Hagim?
Yes, we have a Beit Knesset. It's about, I don't remember, maybe 250 years old or 300 years old, settled in Basra. And we used to go over there. It's not far away from our home.
Can you stop that? George is called. He said there's a lot of traffic. He'll be here as soon as he can.
Okay.
You want me to be quiet?
Yeah.
I
Thanks.
didn't know you were starting, so.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
It's okay. And so we stay over there in that section. And it's helped me in the future of my life to mix with the Arab and to understand them and to work with them and it's helped me in our life, in my life, even in the prison, how to deal with them. Some of the Jewish in Basra or in Baghdad didn't have that. They live in section, that means between the school, Jewish school, to the playing with them or to friend with the Jewish. They never have a friend with the Arab, but thank God, I feel that I'm lucky for that, because I understand them and I know how to deal with them, and I know their culture, how to deal with their culture, how to deal with all the elements they have in their life. If they have like a wedding place, I go with them. If they have sad thing, somebody die, I go with them. So we share everything together. And they used to, some of them is very, very good friend, and they help me in the future even. My mom used to be, if she need anything, she call anybody over there. she will, the guy go over there and help her and do anything for her. I'm not saying this bad people, no. It's some of them very good friend.
Did you have a bar mitzvah?
No.
When you were a kid, did you have experiences of being picked on or anti-Semitism?
I have that when I was in the high school. I start to have that. Before that, I didn't feel it because everybody didn't understand what meaning of Semitism or something like this. All friends, and we used to go to the houses together. I go to their house, they come to my house, and we are just friends, like any friend, any kind of friend. I never came, be friend with the Jewish until I was 17 years old. I have Jewish friend. Only that family I told you, they live with us in the same sector, and with their boys, we used to be friends with them, and we go with them, and used to be some of them. One of the boys or two boys used to be with us in the school, in the private school with us, and we went to the high school together.
Did you know you were Jewish? I mean, did you feel it?
Yes, I feel the Jewish. I know I'm Jewish. I know from the beginning, because I follow my father. My father is a chazan in Beit Knesset. Not just a chazan, anything religions, he take care about that. So I follow them, and I went with him. I went with him all the time. I went to the synagogue, and for Silihot in the morning, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I used to go with him. So I have that feeling, I have that understanding of I am Jewish, I'm something.
Did your family have Shabbat, Yom Shishi Shabbat?
Everything. We kept kosher, we kept Shabbat, we kept everything the right way. More than here in America even.
Did you have a favorite holiday in Iraq?
I don't know what to say. We have favorite holiday as a Jewish holiday, but we have favorite holiday for Muslim holidays, because over there you enjoy it with your friend. You go to party, you go to play, you go over there. Because in Jewish we are a very small community, and you celebrate Rosh Hashanah, you celebrate Sukkot, you celebrate Passover, but you don't feel it just in the house, not outside. But when the Muslim has, holiday or has any wedding, we celebrate with them.
So, did you want to stay as a child? Did you want to stay in Iraq, or did you want to leave?
I don't know. In that time, believe me, I didn't feel anything animosity against me in that time until the high school. And I feel it from some of the students that I went with them. Not all of them. Some of them is very good friend. They, protect me, and we are very, friendly until the end, until the college.
So, tell me about high school.
The high school is إعدادية البصرة, Basra High School. Somebody donate the land in that time, and they built it over there. And when I came over there, the building was just 3 years old, and very beautiful building over there. And we study over there, and I finished high school over there. Like normal kids, anything. We used to go walking to the high school. There is no car over there in that time. We used to walk, and I used to work with a friend, or Muslim friend. I used to go with them. And we come back, the same thing. And if you need help from anybody, you can ask, and they help you. Yes.
So, you said that in high school you started to have anti-Jewish things happen.
Yes. Some of them, when we grow together, we grow in the same area, and some of that, section of that area, Basra is a big city, and in that section we grow together. We grow from, middle school, and we went to high school. And when we get to the high school, everybody separate, different way. Like they follow the party, where the parent follow. Some of them went to the become communist. Some of them become Qawmi. The Qawmi is following for Jamal Abdel Nasser, used to be in Egypt. Some of them follow the Ba'ath in Iraq. Some of them follow the Muslim Brother also. So I have the bad thing that come to me from the Muslim Brother. They didn't like me, and they give me hard time for that time. But I didn't, I ignore them all the time, all my life, because I have another friend to deal with them, and some of them even went to defend me against them. Yes.
When you were in high school, did you think about leaving Iraq?
In that time, when you finish high school, a lot of kids in our city or in Baghdad, they moved to England to study, to finish college over there. But when I came to I finished high school in '64, and there is no way to get to England because there is no way Jewish leave Iraq. They didn't give us passport to leave. Even I apply, and I have some acceptance from the school in England, and I present that to the government, but they didn't give me any passport to leave. So I went to the Iraqi University in Basra.
In 1964.
Yeah, 1964 to 1968.
So what was university like for you then?
I went to the night university. We went to in the night, not in the morning, because my father was in prison in that time, and I supposed to take care about his business in his shop and his place, and so I left. I accepted to Hikmah University in Baghdad, but I couldn't continue because I supposed to take care about my family business. So I went back to Basra and enrolled in University of Basra.
Why was your father in prison? What happened?
My father was in prison because about 3 years ago, before that, there is one boy and 2 girls, brother and sister. They came from Sumawa, and a small city, small village over there, and they asked my father if he can smuggle them to Iran. And in that time, the keys for the synagogue is in my father's hand. So they left him, they stay in the synagogue, but my father support him with food, with everything. And he arranged a way to smuggle him to Iran, but they capture. And from that, my father and the other guy, Jewish guy, and the Muslim smuggler, they catch and they put him in the prison at that time.
Did your father get out of prison?
He get out from prison, yes, but after 3 years.
What were your brothers doing during that time?
They went to school, same thing. They went to school. They went to my brother, he younger than me. They went to college in Basra also, in University of Basra in the morning section. And it's normal life, the same thing. Even my father in prison, but I used to go visit him, and I take care about the business to buy merchandise from Baghdad to bring it to Basra. Usually that's the way to do that.
When your father was in prison, they let you see him?
Yes. I went over there twice a month. I used to go to Baghdad to see him. He was with about 33 Jewish men in the same prison at that time.
What happened to the other 33 men? Did they let them out?
They released him after they hung the Jewish in 69, 27 of January 69, when they hung him. So the word started to make noise in that came, and the Iraqi government released almost everybody from that jail.
When you would see your father, would he tell you to leave Iraq to get out?
No. How he cannot tell me that, because I'm supposed to take care about the family. My father, he came to Israel in 41. He settled in Israel for 1 year, and he bought property over there. And he went back to Iraq in 42.
So, do you remember when Hassan al-Bakr and the Ba'athist Party
Took over?
took over?
Yeah, I remember that. They took over in 68 in revolution against, what's his name? It's Abdurrahman Arif. They took over. They took and they sent Abdurrahman Arif to London to settle over there. Yeah, I remember the Ba'ath revolution in 68 when they took over. They have Ba'ath revolution in 63, but Abdus Salam took the power from them, and they sent him to prison. And when he died, his brother took over, Abdurrahman Arif. And when they become stronger, they arrange it with one of the high officer in the military with them, and he went against the government, and they took over. And after 1 month, 2 months, they told this guy to get out, to go to London also. Oh, we kill you.
So in 1968, when the Ba'ath Party took over again, what changed for the Jews who were left in Iraq?
It's the same thing, nothing changing, because in that time my father was in prison also. And when the Ba'ath took over, and Ahmed Hassan Bakr, he used to be the head of the, but he wasn't the head of the government. Saddam was the head, but he's in the back side. I know Ahmed Hassan Bakr in the front. They put him in the front because he has high military rank in the military, and he's the old man. And this Saddam Hussein used to be a young man in that time. So he doesn't want to show himself in the front. So he put his cousin in the front with that to carry the business.
Were you aware of that then, that Saddam Hussein was the...
Yes, I was there. Because he has the head, Saddam Hussein is the head of the Ba'athi party in Iraq in that time.
So, what happened? Were you arrested? What happened?
In November 68, they came to us, to my home. My father was in prison, and they come to my home in afternoon, so around 1 o'clock, 1:30, and they knock on the door. My mom was there, and my little brother was there, and they asked her about me. She told him he's not there. So in this case, they decide to take my brother as hostage until I came. They told my mom, we're going to take his brother. We take the younger brother until he come to us and surrender. So I don't have a choice. I went over there at 3 o'clock. I surrendered myself. My mom was with me. And they let my brother to go back. He lives in Israel right now. So from there, I saw my friend also. I told you about the family. They stay in that section of Basra. They took him. His name is Sabah Dayan. He came over there. I saw him over there. They brought him over there in that time, in the same day. And from that day, they took us to Baghdad. Both of us, we went to Baghdad. And we stay in the prison in Baghdad for one night. And next day, they transfer us to Qasr al-Nihaya in Baghdad. And I stay in Qasr al-Nihaya until the trial, until they finish the trial and send the judgment on us. We went to trial, but it's like 1 hour in the morning and 2 hours in the night, and that's all the trial.
In prison, how did they treat you?
The first time we get over there, they put us in underground, or they call it Saradib, underground, the castle used to be Qasr al-Nihaya, the castle of the king. And from there, my hand was tied in the back all the time until when they gave me some food, I can eat. They took, they released my hand. I can eat, but there is nothing to sleep over there, nothing, no mattress, nothing. You sleep on the ground. And the ground was very, very dirty because somebody was there before me. And from there, I stayed for almost 10 days. They try to force me to convince, that mean I'm spy. I didn't know what I always ask him what he brought me for. But when I went to Qasr al-Nihaya, they told me, you are a spy. Somebody said you are a spy for Israel, and your friend said about you, and they said about this, and they said this thing about you. And I was in that underground for almost 10 days. Always, from the morning until night. Every hour somebody come to me, you're going to convince? I said no. You're going to, you say, you are a spy. I said, no, I wasn't spy. I just student. I went to college. I went to this. I take care about my father business. You know this guy? Yes, I know him. He's a Jewish guy. I know him. I know his family, yes. But I wasn't with him, a spy. I never. So for 10 days like this, they took me up to the office of the officer over there, and they they asked me question. They asked me. I said no. I wasn't this. I wasn't that. Said your friend said about you. You are with them. You went to Iran. You train on the weapon. I said no. Never happened like this. And they said no. We have convinced somebody. They show me paper that, this is say about you like this, read it. I said, no, it's wrong. So they took me back to the underground, hit me from morning until night. And one day they took me over there in the room, and there is a fan. and somebody over there was on, hanging from the fan, and the fan turning in that way. And they said, we're going to do it the same thing to you like this. I said, no, I cannot do that. I cannot convince in that manner. I didn't do anything. So they took me back to that place. And always, all this 14 days like this, from morning until night. I couldn't sleep because you don't know what time they come to you and hit you. From morning until night, hit. I hear the sound of crying from the other places also, not just Jewish people else also the same thing, from the Muslim also with us. One time they took some guy I saw him in the night, was dark, but there's the light what they have in the flashlight. I saw his blood on his face all day. I get some blood from my face, yes, but it's not so much. But I was tied in the back for night and morning, and just for the food. When I started, they brought the food to us. They took my hand out. They released my hand to eat. And we stay for that. I stay for this thing for 10 days, 11 days. And suddenly after the 11 days, they came to me and said, we don't need your convention. You are okay, you get out. So they took me to the section. There's a new room over there because there is no place for me in my friend room over there. So they took me to the other section of the castle. So I stay over there, and little by little, people come to that place. They brought Burhanuddin Bashayan, used to be the minister of the minister in the government of Iraq before. And they brought us one guy used to be the head of the army, the 5th division of the army of Iraq, from Ramadi for us. And after that, they brought another Jewish guy from there and one Muslim over there. And a lot of people they brought after that. But I wasn't with the group that I was in the trial with them. I separated from that group. I don't know, maybe God wants that for me. And I used to take care about the injury of Burhanuddin Bashayan. They cut his leg from the hitting, or I don't know. They hit us with what they call it, the stick, but it's not stick, it's the wire, the electric wire with it's a heavy electric wire, and they hit us with that stick, because the stick can make can leave what they call it, mark on your body. This one doesn't leave mark because it's turned. So they hit us with that one all the time for 10 days. But in the last day, they took me from that underground and took me to that room. They said, we don't need your convention because somebody said about you, 2 people said that, and that's enough for us.
Did you see the hangings?
No, I didn't see the hanging, but I saw them. They took the kids from my side. I was with them when after the trial, they brought us to the prison, and they leave us over there we was together for 14 days. And in the 27, in the night from Sunday to Monday, when they passed the 12 feet 12 o'clock, they start the hanging. At 1 o'clock, they start the hanging.
And you were with the people right before they were taken.
Yes. See, they took us to place, our people, that mean we came from the trial in the night. The trial was about 9 o'clock in the night. They stay until 9:30, 10:30, 11 o'clock. From there, they took us right away to the prison. On that place, they took me and other person. We are three boys and one old man, Hisqir Zirkha. They took us to that place because we, the only one, the court not decide to hang us in this case. So we are three boys, me, Sa'id Zaki, and one Ibn Salih, not Salih Hisqul, the son of Salih Hisqul. I don't remember his name. His brother, they hang him. Hisqir Salih Hisqul. Hisqir Zirkha, they took us to the prison, and they separate us from the people. They sent him to hang.
So you didn't have contact with the people after the trial? The people who were hung, you didn't have contact?
No. After they took us to that place, and they put us in prison, the prison of the prison, they call it. And I know that prison because my father used to be there in one section of that prison. I know that. And when I came to that prison, I saw the officer, in the night officer, and I know him because he used to be the officer also. When I used to come to visit my father, I know him. And he was from Basra. I know that, and I know his family. So he took us, he asked me, why you come here? What happened? I said, I don't know. And the other people, the court decided to hang them. They sent him to the other section of the prison. But after the next day, they took me from that section, and they brought the other section, that prison of the prison. That over there, we stay over there.
Did you know any of the people who were murdered, who were hung?
Hung? Yeah, I know them, everybody. Not everybody. Anybody from Basra, I know them, because there is some of them from Baghdad. About Charles Huraish from Baghdad. We have Muslim al-Bachari, Abdul Qadir al-Bachari from Baghdad. And I think the other person from Baghdad, but the rest I know them, yes. Because all kids, we used to play together. We used to go together. We used to walk together. I know them, yes.
So, what happened after? When did they let you out? Like, what was the process after the people were hung? What happened to you?
Okay, we stay in that section, and they brought us the uncle of Joe Dubby was with us. They brought us, and we did Passover in that prison, the same place. And they took him from us, and I don't know what happened to him. And I stay over there until I finish my sentence. I sentenced for 1 year. And the other guy with me, the other boy with me, he's in Boston. They release him before me. And I stay over there until I finish my sentence, and I'm supposed to leave. But they took me to the intelligence office of the what they call it, al-amin of Baghdad, amin al-am in Baghdad, the security over there. They took me over there to check my background, if I did anything wrong or anything happened to me, or I joined any party before or against the government or anything. And I stay over there for another month. They took me to the other prison in the Mawqif al-Am in Baghdad. From Mawqif al-Am, they took me to prison in what they call it, the old prison in Baghdad also. They took me from there. I stay over there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. From that, they took me back to the Amn al-Am in Baghdad. I stay over there for another month. They check my background. My mom used to come to visit me, but they didn't give her any information about me, and they told me not to talk, not to do this, not to that. And in that section there is about a group of Jews with me in that section, in that prison. Amin al-Am in Baghdad. Amin al-Am in Baghdad. So I stay over there almost for 4 months, like from one prison to other prison. And I get released from there in the night, around 2 o'clock in the night.
So the year that you were in prison, did they torture you?
No, after that there is no torture, nothing. You finish your sentence, whatever they sent you, and you finish that and you get out.
Did you know that the other Jews were hung when you were in prison? Did you know what happened?
Yeah, the group I was with them. They hang him. They took him from us, from all the boys or whatever. Some of them they hang him in Basra. Some of them they hang him in Baghdad. I know that. And in fact, my mom visit me in a prison. My mom come to visit me in the prison, and I told her what happened to them, because nobody from that family know about them. Even the family never saw them before they hung. They never saw him. They never talk with them. They try, but nobody let him do that.
So the families didn't know that their sons were hung?
No. They know they hang after next day. They know that, but they put him in the public place. They hung him in the public place, yes. They know that. But before, they don't know. They never saw them before the hang, never talk with them, never visit them, never. They don't allow him to do that. Even some family, they arrange a lawyer to defense to go to ask, but the lawyer couldn't do anything.
So the night you were released, what happened?
I released in the night. So, because I released before and they took me back. So in section, one time I released and I gave all my, like mattress and a place to sleep. I gave it to people over there, and at least when they took me back, I don't have mattress. I used to stand to sleep. I couldn't even sleep in the ground. There is no place. So I took my mattress with me to get out, and they asked me, why you need the mattress? I said, I don't know. Maybe I can sleep in the street until I get in the morning. But when I pass from that prison, I walk about 1 block or block and a half. I saw nobody follow me. I throw the mattress. and I find a taxi. So I hired the taxi to take me to the synagogue of Baghdad, Synagogue al-Alwi, they call it, the Beit Knesset, Alwi Beit Knesset over there. So I knock on the door. I know the shamus over there. He opened the door to me, and he let me get inside. I stay until morning. Oh, they told me, the guy said, okay, we're going to release you right now, but in the morning, next day in the morning at 9 o'clock, you're supposed to come to us. So I said, okay, I do that. And I went over there, and I sent message to my mom. They told her that I'm in the Beit Knesset waiting for her. So she came to me, and from there, me and my mom, we went to the Al-Amn Al-Am over there in Baghdad. And we met the high officer over there, and he talked with us. He said, how long you want to stay in Baghdad? So I told him maybe 2 days, 3 days. So he gave me a permission to stay in Baghdad in 3 days. From there, he said, you need to go to, when you go to Basra, next day you need to go to the police, the intelligent police over there, and to report yourself to the prison, to the police, and to tell him where you live and what you're going to do. And so the same thing, after 3 days I went to Basra. From Basra I went to the police. I report myself to the police. I told him where I live. I gave him my address, my everything, what they need information about me. And they said, okay, we're going to watch you, and you need to stay home for 6 months. So they put me, I stay in my home for 6 months. I couldn't go outside. I always in the home I couldn't do anything in the home. Just sometime I go outside to the store next to my home, in front of my home, just to buy something and go back. I don't want to create any trouble. I don't want him to come to pick me up again. So I stay over there for 6 months. After 6 months, they said, now you can get out, but we're going to follow you, we're going to watch you. So in this case, I decide not to go out so often. So I stay home more time in the home, because I don't want to create any trouble to anybody, or to meet anybody who has background, who has anything, who they're going to ask me about him. Why this, why that? So I kept, everything quiet. I didn't to create any trouble. But when I used to go outside just to walk in the street, somebody followed me all the time, and I know this person because he used to be with me in the high school. I know him, and he know me, and he know that one time I went to the library, and it's hot time in Basra at that time. It's very hot, and I decide to walk, not to hire a taxi, whatever, because I want him to follow me. I don't want to do anything wrong. I want him to see what I'm doing. So I went to the library, but the library is far away little from my home, and hot time, in the summertime, in the afternoon. So he said to me, he shouted on me, it's enough, I cannot walk anymore. He told me that. I cannot walk anymore, don't go so far. I said, I'm going to the library. I said, okay, don't go, stay, walk, just sit down. I want to take a rest a little bit. He told me that. I just want to take a rest. I cannot follow you. So we took a race together. I'm sitting over there, he's sitting on this side. And we know each other a bit. I know him from my high school. I know them. I know the guy. I know where he lives. I know his family. I know his family. And I went to the library and took some book, and I come back to the home. That's what happened to me. And I decided not to do it again. So I asked my brother, he lived in the home, to bring some book for me so I can read and stay in the right. So I stay over there in home. I couldn't go. I can go outside. They allowed me to go outside, but I don't want to create any trouble to anybody or to me. That because you don't know. And one Friday night, my mom came to me and said, "We're going to leave right now." I said, "Where are we going?" I said, "We go to Baghdad." So this guy, he followed me, that if I go in Friday night, I stay from Friday night until Sunday morning. I don't go out. So he used to leave me alone. That means for him, I don't know, for me, he used to leave at Friday night when sunset, see the Shabbos coming. So I used to go inside, and I don't leave until Sunday morning. He come Saturday, I don't see him. And Sunday morning, he show himself over there. He sit in the coffee shop next to my home. Watch the door, watch the window, and I always, I show myself in the window just to tell him I'm here. Don't worry about that. I am here. So one Friday night, my mom came to me and said, "We leave." I said, "Where do we leave?" "We leave to Baghdad." Somebody told her that there is some way from Baghdad to smuggle us to Iran. Because she was very afraid that they're going to come to pick me up again. So in that time, I say hi to my father, my other brother. I took the little brother with me, and with my mom, we went to Baghdad to smuggle to Iran. And we went to the family. Is a relative in Baghdad. We stay with them for one night. And in the morning, my mom went to this guy. She heard that he smuggled the people from. His name is Attar. Naim Attar. She went to him. She went to the temple to see him, to synagogue. And she told him that my son is here, the two sons, and we need him to cross the border to Iran. So he told that I need about 400 dinar Iraqi to smuggle him over there. And so my mother said, "Why? That's the price." And my mom said, "Okay, I don't have the money. I didn't bring my money with me. His father, my husband, he going to send you the money." He said, "No, I need the money in my hand before I smuggle him, or I send him to the group they're going to smuggle him to Iran." But she told him, "I don't have the money. I cannot arrange the money. My husband will send you the money. I guarantee that. You know him. You work with him in the market. He's also in the textile and business, and you know him. He didn't accept that." So she came over there crying. So, "Okay, go, don't worry." I took myself and I went to the market on Saturday. I went to the Muslim guy. I know him. My father used to deal with him in business. He's a Hajji. I went to him. I said, "Listen, I need 400 dinar." He didn't ask me what he needed for, what I said. But I told him that my brother need surgery and the doctor want the money. So he didn't hesitate to do anything. He went to his place and he took the money and he gave it to me. And I gave it to my mother to give it to the Naim Attar, just to tell you where to go, what place to go, and that's it. So in the same night, we took the train to the north, to Arbil. From Arbil, we went to this guy over there, Suleimania, that mean they smuggle. They give us the address, and he gave us the address to go over there. So when I was there, I came to that place. I saw another group of Jews in that place. So we stay over there for one night until it become about 12 o'clock in the night, and we are about 33 person from that, kids, boys, guys, man, women, everybody over there in that place. Even I have a lady, she know my mother, and she know that I was in the north. She brought her daughter, 14 years old, and she asked me to smuggle with her, to take her with her. I said, I cannot do that. I don't know what I'm going to do. If they catch me, I'll be go hang. I don't want to take a risk. I said, no, take her with you. So I took her with me. We took her to Iran with us. 14 years old. I took her to Iran. When I was in Iran, the family was there, and I gave her to the family. Gave her to the family, her family. And this, we are 33 people in that night to smuggle in Iran, to Iran. So we have about 3 jeep, and there is no place to sit, one or eat, over the other. And they took the jeep, they took us to the place, they stopped. From there, we start walking, about 1 hour walking, and we wait another hour until the other jeep came from the other side and took us to Khana in Iran. From there, they took us to the place, they call it motel or hotel, whatever. I don't remember. And we stay overnight over there. In the morning, they brought us a bus. In the morning, from there, they took us to Tehran in Iran. All day, from morning until night, we get that in Tehran. And from Tehran, I'm okay. I stay over there for 4 months in Tehran. And the Jewish community over there, because they know about Naim Attar, he took money and took this and took that. They asked me to go back to Iraq to help the people to leave. I said, I cannot do that. If I go back and they capture me, I'm finished. So I stay over there helping the Sukhnut over there in Iran for the Jewish, they came from Iraq. So to arrange the paper, I took him to the market, to this thing, to take care about them until they finished the paper 2 weeks, and they sent him to Israel or anywhere in the world where they have visa. And I stay over there for 3 months, 4 months. I stay over there until the Jewish stopped coming from Iraq. And I decided to go to Israel at that time. And I went to Israel in Arab Rosh Hashanah. I get to Israel. But my brother, they took him before me. They said, okay, you're going to stay here, but we're going to take your brother with us. So my brother went to Israel before me, and my aunt, my mother, sister, she took care about him. But he stayed with the orphan, with the Jewish, until I come.
And what about your mother and your father?
Oh, they went to her next day. This guy asked her, where is the son? They didn't see me. They told he left. I don't know where he is with that. Because my mother, right away, she came back to Basra after we left. And we went to Suleimania, where was the place of smuggle. I have some, so I talked with somebody over there to send a message, a letter to my mom. And my mom know that I was there and everything is okay. Until I get to Iran. So I send another message to her that I'm okay.
Did your parents leave Iraq?
They left Iraq longer after I left that. They left. My mother and brother left Iraq in 1997. They left Iraq in that time. They came. The reason I came to America because I want to bring my parent to get him out from Iraq. So I came here to arrange place to be, to arrange one way to get him out. But my father couldn't get out because he has background. He was in prison for maybe 3-4 times. And because he's the head, not a head, he take care about the community of Basra. So he has some, the police after him, and he was, smuggle these people. And they catch him also smuggle, but they didn't put him in the prison. Sefer Torah, they smuggle Sefer Torah to Iran. In that time, they catch him also. But in that time, just because the paper and the government didn't put anything, that means they didn't make any big case on these things. That just because it's a paper, it's a Sefer Torah.
Is he still alive?
No, I didn't see my father when I left Iraq. I didn't see him. He died in Iraq. He buried in Iraq. My mother and my brother came to here. I brought him here to America.
Does your brother live in the United States?
Yeah, I have a brother. He came. He lived here in Los Angeles.
So it's a huge question, but they left in 1997. All of those years, what were they doing there? How did they survive?
They survived because my brother, he was working in the government of Iraq. He worked in one of the factory of the government of Iraq. Fertilization, factory. He was working over there, the head of the produce over there. So he checked the produce before they go send it to the market. So he worked in that place from, I think from the 1970 something. He finished college in 1969, and because everybody go to the army, and he's Jewish, they don't take him to the army at that time. So he was sitting home, and they need chemists. He finished chemist over there. They need chemists, so they come. The government sent about him to come over there, and the guys interview him about the business or about the knowledge. So they accept him in this thing, and from there, he sent to Japan to study for 6 months and come back to work in the factory. And he was working in the factory for 1970, I don't know, around at least about 30 years, 26 years he was there working in the company, in the same company.
So So what made him decide after so long to leave?
Oh, that's. See, we live in Basra, and the Jewish in Basra is, becomes smaller and smaller. And the family, there is no family, and he wanted to get married. And there is nobody, no girls from Baghdad want to come to settle in the Basra. So they decide to move to Baghdad. And he quit his job. But he didn't, they don't let him quit his job. They arrange another job in Baghdad for him. So he worked over there for the government in Baghdad. He's on the mineral of administration over there in Baghdad. He worked in Baghdad in that time, but after that he decided he doesn't want. So he become retired. He retired from the job. He even has a pension still in Baghdad, waiting for him. They give him pension for that.
Did he get married to a Jewish woman?
He tried, but didn't work.
Did he get married?
He got married after he came here.
Is he Jewish?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you went to. So how did you get from Tehran
To Israel. I stayed in Tehran, I told you, for 4 months already. And I decided to. They gave me, visa to go to Holland, visa to go to London, and even they asked me to stay in Tehran. We can arrange paper for you and become citizen over there, if you want to stay. But in that time I was 22, 23 years old, and my brother in Israel, I don't want to leave him alone. I took responsibility for him, so I left. I went to Israel.
So how was it when you got to Israel?
Oh, exciting, because the first time I see my relative over there. When I grow in Basra, I never have any relative, any friend, any cousin, nothing. So I saw my aunt came to receive me from the airport. And from there, we went to make the Rosh Hashanah over there. The Arab Rosh Hashanah was there. So I did it the first night I get to Israel. We did Arab Rosh Hashanah in my uncle's house. So I saw the family, I saw the cousin, I saw this. I never saw before.
Did Israel feel like home?
Yes. Because you're going to see all the section. You're going to have the freedom. Well, you don't experience that in Iraq. So it's my home in that time. From there, they took me to Ulpan. From Ulpan to the college. From the college to the army.
So when did you come to the United States? How did you come here?
Oh, for a long time I try to have any contact with my parents. The only contact I can do that is through mail. That you send mail to England. I have friends over there. I send the mail over there to envelope, and with another envelope to go to Israel, to Iraq. So from there, he take the envelope from Israel and put the envelope from London, and he sent it to Iraq. In the end, I decided I need to speak to them, to talk with them. So I came here just to do that. I have a very nice job in Israel. I was accounting in American company, Vichy Israel. American company used to be. I was accounting over there, and decided to come to America just to help my parents to come back to get him out from Iraq.
What'd
And I came here. It took me a long time to be citizen, from citizen to apply for them to come here. I thought if I come here, I would talk with the Jewish community, and Jewish community will do something. But they didn't do nothing. They said you need to be citizen of America, and from the citizens of America you can apply for them to come to here. I said, but they are Jewish and they need passport and need this. Nobody helped me in that time. So you need to be a citizen. But to be a citizen, it takes me time to be that. But it's okay.
Would you like to go back to Iraq?
I like to go back to Iraq to see, not to live. To see my place where I used to play. That I don't think it will be the same thing. I left it because my brother told me that a lot of section in that section was cut to make big street or big the city bigger or whatever. So even the old synagogue, 250 years old synagogue, was gone. Also, they took out because they want to make big street wider, the street to make the street wider in that thing. So they took the synagogue.
Is your mom still alive?
No, my mom died after 3 years. She was here in America.
Did she ever go to Israel?
Yes, I took her. She saw her sister after 52 years. 52 years, she didn't see her sister. After 52 years, she saw, we went over there. I took her to Israel. I took her around. I took her even with a wheelchair. She was in the wheelchair. I took her to Masada upstairs. And with the wheelchair all over. I took her, yes.
Did she like Israel?
She liked it, yes. She saw her cousin. She saw her sister. She saw her relative, but she didn't see him for a long time. See, you remember that my aunt or my cousin or my relative, they left in 51, and she is in Basra. She was in Basra in that time, and my aunt, she left, before. It's 50, like I said, 52 years. She didn't see him.
Did she want to stay in Israel with her family?
No, she want to, whatever we decide to do. That mean the kids. Even I have my brother. He is in Israel. He has a house and he has everything funny. But she decided to follow my other brother. She lived with him for all this life, and in that time, my other brother was single. He didn't get married yet. So she wanted to stay with him. That's yes.
So, where do you feel your home is? Where's your home?
I like Israel. I would like to be in Israel, yes. But you figure that all my kids is here. But thank God, one day maybe I'll be there. Now it's not a big deal to go to stay in Israel and come here to visit. I don't think so. It's going to be difficult for me to do that. I'm looking for that to be there. But still, I have one son married and have 3 sons, still single. I want him to settle, to have something. I can come to visit him, there's no problem.
Did you pass on your Iraqi heritage to your sons?
I would say I'm sorry I couldn't do that because he became American right away when he went to school. I couldn't do that, no. I couldn't do that. But I passed the heritage of the Jewishness, yes. I passed it to them. I tried to pass the Iraqi way, but he didn't take it.
Your sons know your story and everything that happened
Yes,
to you?
they know. Not everybody know. Just the two bigger one. They know. The rest, they hear it, but they don't know.
So, do you have a message for anyone who might see this? Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, I just want to, that my story to be heard by people, by another people, that everybody has some story about to say about this thing. And especially that what I pass in Iraq. And my father passed in Iraq. He was in prison for 3 years. And before that, also, to what he did for the Jewish people, for the heritage of the Jewish people, when he smuggled the Sefer Torah to Iraq, and he helped the other people to smuggle. And he was, he gets prison for that. And I want the people to know what happened in Iraq and why this trial all focus. It's not about, there is nobody did anything. And I wish one day in Israeli or any place in the world can open this trial again and see the truth and see what happened in that time and why they did to us this thing, why this has happened. And I maybe somebody will learn something from that. To go back to Iraq, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to settle in Iraq. I like to go visit, but it's not the time. Maybe one day in my life I can go visit that land. I still has connection to that land. I'm not saying no, because I grew over there. I went, in Iraqi, I didn't, settle in one place. I saw Iraq from the north to the south. I grew with the people. I grew with the Iraqi people. I didn't, I know the culture. And if you believe it or not, I'm still listening to the music and to the culture or to the food or to the same thing. I used to be in Iraq. In my car, you can see that all the music of Iraqi music, I listen to it every day. I still have connection to that. Especially I grew with the village people. I didn't grow with the, city people. I grew with the village. I learned their tradition. I learned their, day to day, I was there with them. And I went to the wedding. I went to the sadness. I went to the, whatever they pass, I went with them. And some of them very good people. I tell you something, some story happened to me. I was in the college. And Yom Kippur, in 76 war. And we have examination that day, in the last year examination, and the first day in that way. And I went to the college to do the examination. We are 4 boys and 4 girls, Jewish, in that college. We study together. And I was there to make, and some Christian girl came to me. And I know her family, because Basra is a small city, and you know each other almost. Not everybody, but they know. I know her father, I know her mother. She came to me, said, "We're going to destroy Israel." I said, "Fine, I'm here. I'm not Israeli. You're going to tell me this word?" "No, we're going to destroy this. We're going to this. Our army going to go there and this." I said, "Okay. Go join army and be a nurse in the army." In that time, the nurse is bad word. In Iraqi, nurse is bad word. If you tell the girls you are a nurse, even it's a very good profession. People, I respect that. But in that time, the name of the nurse because they stay over the night in the hospital. They have some. She becomes so mad about me, and she starts to shout on me, "You're Jewish, you're Zionism, you're this, you're that." I said, "I never did that to you. I never said that. We know each other for a long time." So I ran away from her because I don't want to create any trouble. The war is going on in that time. So there is a guy, I know him from his father. He's with my father in the market. He has a store over there. He came to me and said, "Okay, Aaron, come." He has a car. He took me to my home. And he stayed with me until night in the home. He said, "Maybe somebody going to looking for you," but his father is very influenced in the community. He's a Shia guy. He studied in London, and he came back to Iraq. He stayed with me in that night in the home, even my father in the prison at that time. And around 10 o'clock, he went home. And he came back next day. He took me, and we went to college. And we did the exam, because that day they canceled the exam. And I saw this girl, but she was quiet in that time. She didn't create any trouble. But this guy is still with me. Yes, I appreciate that. There's people over there, I appreciate them. We grow with them. How we live with them? We used to be friends with them. I have family. They know my father for so many years. We grow with them. For 60 years, they know each other. And when you need them, they are there. If you ask him for a favor or anything, they do it for you. Yes.
So one last question. You said you were in the Yom Kippur War.
Yes.
Did you even speak Hebrew by that time?
No, I spoke Hebrew. I went over there to Israel, and I went to the Ulpan. And the lady, the teacher in the Ulpan over there, she tried to learn Arabic. And we used to sit together after the school to teach each other a language. So she taught me Hebrew, and I taught her Arabic. And we went to the root of the language. And it used to be this similar root, the same thing. So I catch the Hebrew after 1 month and a half. I started to speak Hebrew. That's very easy for me to go out. So I left the Ulpan and I went to college from there. So it was very easy for me to study. And another thing, I used to read Hebrew for the pray. I used to read Hebrew, but I didn't understand what the meaning. I used to read in the pray, but I didn't understand what the meaning. So it's much easier for me to catch it fast. So I spoke Hebrew. I went to college. I studied in college. And when they took me to the army, I'm okay. They took me as intelligent over there because I speak Arabic. They asked me if I can translate from Arabic to Hebrew. I said okay, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen the same thing.
I think I hear the phone ringing. Is the door locked? Is someone here? Okay. Is there anything?
You said your father was arrested in Baghdad.
Yes.
And he went to prison. What was the reason that he was taken to prison and arrested and put to prison?
Okay. The first time they took him there for question because he's active in the community of the Jewish community in Basra.
Yeah.
So after in the Arfi in 48, when the Iraqi army defeated by Israel and the army went back to Iraq, they create some trouble for the Jewish in that time. So they, they arrest him one day over there to ask him what happened, what that. If you have any knowledge about this guy. He said, no, I don't know. I'm just businessman. I do my business and that thing. The next arrest is when he smuggled the Sefer Torah to Iran. So they catch him for that to ask him. So he was over there, but in Basra, he has some influence with the Arab. His friend, the Muslim friend, went to the police and said, this is book, this is nothing. And they brought a priest, Kildan priest. He know Hebrew, to read he said, this is Torah, nothing, nothing else. So they released him in that time. And the next time he went to prison because he smuggled the boys and two sister, and they catch them, and he went to prison, and he went for 3 months. They sent him for 3 months, and he finished the prison for that. And after that, when they catch the 33 Jewish, they put him for 3 years. He was with them in that time.
How was it when they hanged others? Where were you and what the
I don't
family-
remember others. Others is before I born. Or I born in that time, or I was just 1 year in that time. I don't remember that. I wasn't there. My father may be there. I saw the place, they hung him, yes. I know the place, yes. But I don't know about others. I don't know. I heard about others. I heard about his family. I heard about his son went to Egypt after that. They settled Egypt. But I don't have any connection to the family. No. I don't know the family. I don't know others. No. But I heard this. I heard the story and what the reason. I know that. They told me the story. My parents told me the story, or another people from the community, they told me the story. But I don't know. I never met others, or I met anybody else in that time. But it can be happen, yes. Can be happen. I know. I wish I know something, but I know his place. I know where they hang him. I know. I went over there. I saw the place. Yes. I don't have anything about
How
that.
do you see your life in America? How do you?
Okay, the life of America. I have the freedom. That means I didn't have it in Iraq. I have what in Iraq. Even you don't do nothing. You didn't do nothing. You can be arrested because you are Jewish, or you are different party, or different idea, or different group. If you go with somebody, they have something against him, they can arrest you. There's no problem about that. Or anybody can say anything about you. You can be arrested. That's the problem. We don't have that in America. In America, they investigate it before you get arrested. They investigate about you. They look what they say. They check what they have some information, but they check it before they arrest you. Yes, that we didn't have it in Iraq. I'm not saying in Iraq I have bad time in Iraq, or I have good time. I have good time in Iraq. I'm not saying no. I have good time. I grew over there. I went to college. I went to school. I make some friend over there, and good friend. Don't take me wrong. The Muslim, not all the Muslim is bad. No, I don't say that. Some of them is very good, and some of them, friend of my father for long time. Like this man, I went to him in Baghdad to get some money. He didn't ask me. He asked me what he needed. Yes, but I told him, my brother need operation and I need the money. He didn't say anything else. He didn't say sign paper or do this or do that. He didn't do that. He went over there to his business. He took the money and gave it to me. And Jewish didn't do that. He didn't trust me. And we worked with him for a long time. My father worked with him for a long time. This Naim Attar. He worked with him for a long, long time. And we know. And I was in his home. My father in prison. I used to go to his home, yes. And he know me. He know what happened to me. And my mom went to him and said, listen, if I cannot take him back to Basra. I cannot. If I take him back, they're going to hang him. I cannot. And I need him to move right now because I want to go back to Basra before Sunday.
Nothing happened to your parents when they came to your house and they saw that you were gone?
I cannot say, no, they didn't do nothing to them, yes. Even I have brother in the government office. He worked in the government. And no, they didn't do nothing to them. But maybe they know something about that. They have some knowledge we're going to leave. But I think we are the first people left Basra in that time. We went to Baghdad and smuggled over there.
Do you know any of the Jews who are there?
In Basra?
No, like any of the Jews who are left in Iraq. Do you know of any that no one else know? I mean, do you know if everyone left?
There is no community. There is no community in Iraq. There is 7 or 8 person over there. There's 2 doctor, lady doctor. They try to bring her to Israel. They refuse to come back to Israel. They stay over there. They are 60, 65 years old. It's not, never married. One of them, my brother wanted to get married with her. And she's still there. Even her family in London, in Holland, in Israel, she's still over there. I don't know why, but you can ask. I tell you a story. I know them. I tell you a story. I have a friend. He's very high. He came from Sawara, one village in Iraq, and he came to Basra to study and become engineering, and he went to Israel, and he became big shot in Israel, in the government, the head of the office of the instruction over there for the city, for the street, he built street in Israel. Now he retired. I know him. He left two aunts in Iraq. And they stay over there, these 2 aunts. And used to be, they are in their 80, 85 years old. And they don't have any place. So the Jewish community, in the end, one of the synagogue, they converted it to house for the people doesn't have any meaning. But this two sisters, they live over there in that synagogue. It's a miserable living.
Yeah.
They don't have anything else. So this guy, he sent for them to come. He's a big shot in the Israeli government. So he sent somebody from Israel to go to Iraq. He couldn't make it for himself to go over there. So somebody went over there to this lady and said, listen, your nephew wants to take you to bring you to Israel. He said, no, we don't want to go to Israel. But nephew said that. They show him the picture. They show him the picture of the family. No. They brought him to Israel, but how? They give him a drug. They give him to sleep. And they took him from there and brought him to Israel, yes. Because, the mind, they don't want to change the mind, that's all. But they brought him to Israel, yes.
I think that's it. Is there anything else?
Did you hear about a family, Jewish family? I think they lived either in Shamia or somewhere, that they converted to Islam.
Yes, some of them, they convert to Islam because they don't have a choice. But I heard one Jewish family, they did that. And in the end, they came to Baghdad. And from there, they came to Israel.
So they changed their...
Yeah, they took him to Israel. I tell you the story. It's passed by me. My father has about 4 houses, when the houses together in Iraq, one next to the other. سطح من سطح. There's no problem.
Roof from roof, yeah.
Yeah, from roof, you can go from house to house. That's no big deal. They're no separate. It's a house. And this is next to us. And the family, we know them. My father know the family, and he ran the house for them. And one of the son, his son, married Jewish girl. She become Muslim and married Jewish girl. And they come over there to the family to visit. And sometimes she come to my mother to talk with her. Ask her this, ask her that, what happened, what this. And she want to come back to the Jewishness. She want to remember the Jews. So she used to come to us to celebrate with us the Jewish holiday. And she used to bring her family, her husband and son, 2 sons. And one day, they decide to leave. So she took her husband and son and took him to Israel. And they went to Israel. And they become Jewish together. The son become Jewish and the husband become Jewish. Yes, it's happened. And they are in Israel now. It's everything successful. She's a nurse, used to be a nurse. And when they went to Israel, the mother-in-law, she came to my mother, shouting on her, how you going? How you did that? How you did that? I said, I didn't do nothing. I thought that my mother smuggled her or something. My father smuggled her over there. They went to my father and said, we know you for 60 years. Why you do that to us? I said, I don't do nothing. They decide to go. I didn't do anything. I didn't convey anything. But my mother used to tell her this. But she has something inside her. The mother, she has something inside that means she's Jewish. So she went back. It's a very good story.
Yeah, it is a good story.
And believe it or not, the kids went to Israel and they went to the army, and they become success in Israel. Yeah. 2 of them become a doctor.